All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 5 a.m. in Chengdu, and I'm excited. I can't sleep, so let's get going. Chengdu is the first stop for this mountain bike trip. We're going to Tibet, and it's gonna be good. So this is a group trip, much like a lot of the group trips I've done over the years now, but I think it's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be a little more special. Already it's starting out special in this giant hotel room. So the company I'm riding with is called Extravagant Yak, because in Tibet we're gonna see a lot of yak. And last night we all arrived. We had like a welcome dinner where everyone got to meet each other. We got to meet the guides. I think we've got 14 riders, 3 guides, and a couple logistics people like drivers and stuff. So the process of memorizing names has begun. But luckily, I've got a few friends that I've already ridden with that you guys have already seen in my videos that are coming along on this trip. And I just did a 4-day trip in Lhasa, which is like the capital city of Tibet. It's a city that is at 12,000 feet, and I just did a touristy vacation type trip. It was 4 days, and it was quite good. But it was a vacation for me. It was like, turn it off, no videos, no vlogging, just get to enjoy it. I answered some comments because we did have Wi-Fi, and we actually have pretty good 3G signal. What am I saying? It's not 3G, it's LTE. It's actually like top of the line internet here, which is very, very interesting because you always hear about, oh, you go to China, the internet's all blocked. So I'm just using my normal Verizon phone. Once I got off the airplane, I turned off airplane mode and everything works. I don't go through the Wi-Fi at the hotel because once you go through the Wi-Fi at the hotel, somehow everything gets blocked. So for whatever reason, I have Verizon and I have this thing called Travel Pass. So it's $10 a day to use my phone as I normally would, and nothing's blocked. Every once in a while, Google will not work. It's happened like 3 or 4 times now, but then you just go to Bing and you just Bing it. And when I say blocked, there's just certain websites, Twitter, YouTube, like all the Google stuff, which is normally blocked for normal Chinese citizens going through normal Chinese internet. So I don't know, maybe it knows that I have an American SIM card and it's like, oh, okay, good to go. So as you may remember from my last video, we had an extensive packing list that I may or may not have followed to the T. I did not follow to the T. So since I've been in Tibet and I've had a little bit of a heads up, there are some items of necessity. First and foremost, wet wipes, hand sanitizer. The toilet situation in Tibet is going to be one that is pretty unbelievable and a little crazy. There are attempts made to have toilets, but most of them are kind of like holes in the ground, especially if you're out in the backcountry and we're going to be riding around. It's not going to be pretty. So along with some old-fashioned paper, this little poop kit here is going to make me feel very, very fresh. And we've talked about this before on the channel. Like, I haven't really had to do many emergency number 2s while I'm out riding, but we're in Asia. We're gonna be eating some different kind of food. Different needs will arise, I think. And that being said, on this Lhasa trip, these past 4 days, the food has been excellent. I've had no problems. I haven't felt sick. I've been good to go this entire time. So I think that's something that is gonna hold people back from doing a trip like this. You need a sense of adventure. All right, first stop, breakfast buffet. So the spread at the breakfast buffet, they've got the traditional stuff. They've got fruit, they've got bread. But then they have a bunch of stuff like this, which is so cool. Dinner for breakfast. I'm going with a little more traditional eggs, bacon, fried chicken, pig. Okay, fully fueled up. Nice hotel, nice breakfast. The easy part's over. Okay, I'm ready to roll out. Everything is ready to go. The bikes are already on the way. Last night we loaded them up into a shady cargo van. So hopefully if all goes well, they'll be waiting for us on the other side. I believe we've got an 8-hour bus ride ahead of us. I'm getting my last few minutes of fresh air before we roll out. And it's funny having this massive delay. I'm sure there's questions you guys have that I'm not gonna be able to answer until after. And man, I really like real-time feedback, and just, knowing this video isn't gonna come out for months, it's like kind of bugging me. I'm just standing on the corner. This is the hotel right here. Our chariot has arrived. Let's load them up all to myself.
Good enough.
All right, like 2.5 hours in now, and the driver has to have a mandatory rest stop. So it's Frisbee time.
We're in our little Chinese rest stop here. They've got normal grocery stuff, food options. I just got some bottled water and some Oreos. Back on the road. Back off the bus for lunchtime.
You want to upload some rice, you want some?
It was a feast. I could not tell you what any of the dishes were, but they were all good. Nice and spicy. Back in the bus.
So we just stopped for a little gas break. Bus has got to fill up the car. And saw this little bike shop type place, maybe? Locked up. Well, we can't get any bike stuff, but we could get a yak if we wanted to. Okay, it would be very interesting to know how much gas prices are. If that is 7 yuan per liter, it's 7 yuan per dollar. Is it possible that it's $1 a liter?
So I just asked Jacob what the deal was, and I was pretty much right. It's $1 per liter US, and then roughly, and then it's diesel. And so that is like $3.80 US per gallon. So very similar price to what we're paying back home. We have made it to our accommodation for the first night. That was about 7 hours total. And they call it the Zhangpao Bike Reception Center. So the road we just came up on is like an epic road riding destination in the summer. Thousands of people come up the road. So it's a bike hotel.
Holy moly. The Taj Mahal.
Or I guess we should say Patella Palace.
Mine's a little more boring, but I'll be able to snore.
It's actually quite cold at the moment, and it's only gonna get colder. So I've got my warm clothes. We'll just layer up, no big deal. So I took a backpacking class in college many years ago, and one of the things our teacher said was that you want to stay warm. It's very hard to get warm after you've been cold. So right now, I'm going overkill just to stay warm.
Look at all these bright, shiny new bike bags with no miles on them.
Stop showing
Yeah, yours does have miles on it.
He's just been sitting there rubbing it with mud.
Mine looks rough. So far, so good. Looks like she's in one piece. Good to go. A road biker has arrived. Climb the pass.
We're at 10,600 feet right now, and this is gonna be the first night for everybody at altitude. But because I took the Lhasa trip, I'd already been sleeping at 12,000 feet, so I should be indestructible, guarantee, feel no effects.
I know I've said I don't like people riding my bikes, but I'll make an exception. There you go. This is his machine. If you can kind of see here, the road is wet on the downward side. So these big trucks that are coming down the mountain, they stop every once in a while and they spray down their brakes with water. So you'll see these big trucks coming down the mountain and steam is just flying off the wheels, and it's so weird. Water-cooled brakes, not something we do in the States. Burn them up, boys! We got a little snow coming down. We're loading up the bikes, getting them ready.
It's gonna be great.
I can smell them coming. So this is the simple bamboo bike. And Abu, one of our guides, he makes them. This is where our bike bags will stay for the duration, and luckily we have Chairman Mao watching over to keep him safe. Dinner's being cooked. Oh yeah, looking good. Dun, dun, dun.
That carp will be on our table very soon.
All right, it's looking very much like lunch. Looking good.
I am fully layered up and ready for an adventure. Tonight's gonna be cold. I'm gonna get my sleeping bag out. I'm gonna layer up in this bed. And I think I'm gonna start editing some video on my laptop because the laptop gets really hot when you start editing. So tomorrow we are gonna start riding. It'll probably be snowy. It'll probably be wet, which isn't always the best for filming. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna get going. So wheels on the ground in Tibet tomorrow. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you on the trail.